It's a cult of hate. It's fucked up. It's a cult of hate against me. And I'm not going to put up with that shit. This has been a great, August could have been shit. August has been a great month, in my opinion. Seriously. I just really wish that there were more new releases, and here's why, okay? As much as I very much enjoyed chilling with all you guys every day and having fun doing this variety of content, whenever there's a month when there's not a lot of new releases, memberships go down, super chats go down, and overall support of the channel goes down. And there's nothing I can do about that. I'm not blaming anyone. I'm not asking for anything more. It's just a natural fact. When there's new games, more people come to the channel, more people become members, more people gift memberships, more people do super chats and super stickers, and it just helps the channel more. I know for a fact this month of August has been one of the slowest I've had since I've been on YouTube full time, and it can't be helped. There's nothing to play. We're doing old school shit every day, right? So it is what it is. I'm not complaining. I'm happy. This has been a great month. We had a ton of fun. You guys have been very supportive with tips when I needed it. Thank you for that. All right? I only have one thing to shout out because we got no memberships, no super chats, no super stickers, and no tips. We have one re-up of a membership from Audio Object Baxter, who said only $4 to re-up. So there you go. Thank you to Audio Object for that. But outside of that, there's been 0 contributions on today's podcast, so I have nothing to shout out at all. All right? So, with a few minutes left, what would you guys like to talk about? Do you have any questions, any hot topics to discuss before we jump into Final Fantasy? Big Meech did a super chat saying, what advice would you give to someone in 0 debt? Oh, man. You know, Big Meech, not that I'm some kind of a financial expert with the problems that I got into with my own finances. What I would say is, in life, you're going to find yourself very hard-pressed to not be in debt at some point. Anytime that you want to own something, how often are you going to have the money to pay for it in its entirety? How are you going to pay for a whole car? $60,000 or how much a car costs today? Who even fucking knows, right? Insane amount of money for a car. Who has that to just pay up front? Who has hundreds of thousands of dollars to buy a home just sitting in the bank, right? So eventually you're going to have to take out some debt. But all you can really do is try to be smart about it. You know what I'm saying? Just don't go beyond your means. Make sure you have a concrete plan to pay back what you take out. And I hate to say it, but you kind of have to have a backup plan too, because that's what I didn't have. When I moved out here, all the debt that I incurred, I could pay back. I had plans for it and everything. I had all these things set out. And then what happened? Copyright strikes against DSP Gaming, which made me delete videos, which made the channel lose viewership and tons of revenue. I was no longer showing up in related search. I lost insane amounts of income that I used to always get on the second half of the year. At the second half of the year, I literally would make a third of my income would come from like 2 months of the year. That's how crazy prominent it was with ad revenue back in the day. And I lost all of that because of the troll actions against my channel, you see? And I never expected that to happen. And what happened immediately when that happened? I couldn't pay back the debt anymore. It was minimum payment, minimum payment, minimum payment, minimum payment for years and years. Then take out a loan to be able to afford the minimum payment. It was just a vicious cycle of failure and pain. I guess that's the best way I can describe it. So, you know, don't be afraid of taking out smart debt. But at the same time, you have to have a set plan to make sure that you're going to be able to pay it off. Because if you can't, you're going to ruin your life, you know? Look at me. I'm in a situation where literally weeks I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I'm a fucking streamer on YouTube that gets hundreds of views a stream, thousands of views every video, gets tons of crowdfunding, and I'm living paycheck to paycheck because of what I did to myself financially. You don't want to be like me, man. You don't. Use me as a cautionary tale, all right? Don't overspend, you know, beyond what realistically is going to be in your means if something goes wrong. Because, again, if nothing had gone wrong, I would have been fine. The moment that shit happened, it ruined me. That's bullshit, Big Meech. He says, that's the advantage of having a real job. You don't have to worry about your wage just disappearing. That couldn't be further from the truth. Seriously. So let's look at my real jobs. You ready for this? I worked at a fast food place. Okay. That wage wasn't going away, but I was barely making anything. Okay. I worked at Circuit City. I chose to leave. They actually liked me there, and that was a steady wage at the time. By the way, Circuit City's out of business, so if I'd stayed there, I'd be unemployed. I worked for a bank, which wasn't a bank. I thought it was. It was a division of Wells Fargo known for predatory lending. Okay? Worked there for a year, sold a bunch of mortgages to people at like 95% loan to value, which essentially means they're destined to be foreclosed on. Okay? At the end of the year, had a falling out with the management because they were mistreating me, and also I didn't feel good about working there anymore. That was the end of that job. Then I worked for Best Buy, joined their business team, worked there for a year till they wanted to get rid of their business team, and they fucking fired me and framed me for abusing the store discount because I bought a couple PS2s at a store discount of 40 cents each, which of course I disputed in a court hearing, and I got my unemployment and everything. Then I worked for a helicopter company for 4.5 years where I worked my ass off. I was promoted. I was put into prominent positions of power. I was trained for competitive excellence. I was continuous improvement. I redesigned an entire process in the company. I received a commendation at the company for going above and beyond, for working my ass off for the company. And then they laid me off. Do you understand? In reality, doing this, what I'm doing right now, is the most consistent thing I've ever done in my life. I've done this for a living since 2011. It's now 2022. 11 years, and yes, there's been ups, there's been downs, there's been times when I had to change what I was doing and move from platform to platform, but being an internet content creator is the most consistent, dependable thing I have ever done. And I've done a bunch of other jobs, and every one of them treated me like dirt and said, fuck you, and kicked me to the curb when they could. Here, I could do whatever I want because I'm my own boss, I'm my own master, and you guys support me no matter where I go. So why does it, you know what I mean? This is the best I've had. That is, people say, oh, get a real job. Real jobs are an illusion. Real jobs are absolutely positively a cloud of smoke. At any moment, any of those jobs can kick you to the curb and say, fuck off. It's called at-will employment. Unless you have a contract with that company that states you will make a set amount of money for this work, and if they cut that contract, you'll get compensation. Unless you have that kind of a contract, you literally are disposable. That whole, oh, my set work, that's a complete illusion, and everyone in the United States seems to be living under this illusion. You are a disposable asset that at any moment, zoop, they toss your ass and you're done. Me, yeah, right now I could be banned from YouTube, and then I go somewhere else, and then I go somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like, you guys are going to support me no matter what I do or what format I put out my content, and I know that because you've done it. We've been around, right? We've been going in these circles, but essentially, I know that I can kind of depend on you guys, and that's an awesome thing, right? So no, that whole illusion of real job, that's horseshit. That is the American cloud of feeling secure. It doesn't exist. There's no security. There's none. You could be completely shit canned for no reason, and there's nothing you could do about it. Excuse me. Ellipsian says, I think what he meant is that a stable job, you can get stable income, meaning you can budget accordingly. And even that's false. Even that's false. The only time you can ever get a completely stable income is if you have a salaried agreement with your company that you work with. Any other job that's hourly, you have no idea what you're making on a week. Any week, oh, we could cut your hours. Company's not doing so good this week. Cut your hours. Oh, but I have bills to pay. I have a family to... Oh, well, go get another job. I don't want to hear that. I cut your hours. That's how it is in America. That's exactly how it is here in the United States. They don't give two shits about you. What's hilarious is we got a bunch of people in the chat, newcomers with names that are detractor memes. Oh, what a terrible take. I've never heard such a worse take. Fuck off. Seriously. Fuck off, you dunce. Goodbye. I'm fucking idiots. Seriously. Like, I can't tell that, oh my God, mysteriously, people who I've never seen before in the chat, this is their first time here, are shitting on my opinions on my own podcast. What a coincidence. Oh, yes. Fucking idiots. Anyway.